Have you ever imagined falling in love while trying to save the world? Meet Rafael, a tech genius who hides secrets from the past and a life full of mysteries. When new clues about his brother's death emerge, his quest for the truth leads him to an unexpected encounter with Bia, a warrior from a dystopian future. Together, they embark on a dangerous and surprising journey. Who is Bia really? And why does she desperately need to protect Rafael? Get ready for a story where love and danger intertwine, and nothing is as it seems. And the ending will surprise you. Rafael had it all. As a renowned computer engineer, he was the brain behind some of the most innovative technologies in the industry. His company, co-founded with his late brother, had revolutionized the tech world. Rafael was not only known for his genius, but also for his impeccable appearance and sharp sense of fashion. Every morning, he walked into his office, a towering skyscraper of glass and steel, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit that turned heads. Colleagues admired him, competitors envied him, and the media couldn't get enough of him. From the outside, Rafael's life seemed perfect. He had a luxurious penthouse with a panoramic view of the city, the latest gadgets, and a social life that included rubbing shoulders with the elite. He attended glamorous parties, exclusive events, and was always surrounded by influential people. Yet, behind this facade of success and glamour, Rafael carried a heavy burden. 10 years ago, his older brother, his mentor and best friend, had died under mysterious circumstances. The incident had left a deep scar on his soul and changed him profoundly. Rafael's once vibrant and outgoing personality had turned introverted and guarded. He threw himself into his work, using it as a distraction from the pain and unanswered questions surrounding his brother's death. The company they had built together became his sanctuary, a place where he could lose himself in code and innovation, away from the haunting memories. Every night, after the hustle and bustle of his busy day, Rafael would sit in his study, surrounded by the remnants of his brother's life. Photographs, old blueprints, and personal mementos. He would pore over these items, hoping to find some clue, some connection that could explain what had happened. Despite his success, he felt an emptiness that no amount of accolades or achievements could fill. But everything was about to change. One fateful evening, as he was about to leave his office, a message popped up on his computer screen. It was anonymous, cryptic, and referenced his brother's death. The message suggested that the incident was not an accident, and that there were deeper, darker forces at play. Rafael's heart raced as he read it. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of hope and determination. He knew he had to uncover the truth, no matter where it led him. As he began to dig deeper into his brother's past, Rafael stumbled upon a series of bizarre and unsettling events. He discovered connections to powerful people and secretive organizations that seemed to have their own agendas. And just as he started to piece together the puzzle, he found himself being watched. It was then that Bia, a fierce and enigmatic warrior from a dystopian future, entered his life. Bia had come back in time with a mission to protect Rafael at all costs. She knew that he was the key to preventing a catastrophic event that would doom humanity. With her unparalleled combat skills and survival techniques taught by her military father, Bia was unlike anyone Rafael had ever met. As danger closed in from all sides, Rafael and Bia were thrust into a perilous journey, where they would not only fight for their lives but also for the future of the world. In this whirlwind of secrets, danger, and unexpected alliances, Rafael and Bia began to develop a deep bond. Through their struggles and shared purpose, they found solace and strength in each other. As they unraveled the mystery of his brother's death and confronted the looming threat, their hearts intertwined, giving rise to a love that was as powerful as it was unexpected. Rafael's perfect life was far from what it appeared. Beneath the surface, it was a story of loss, resilience, and the search for truth. And now, with Bia by his side, it was also a story of love and redemption, as they fought together to change the course of history and save the world from impending doom. The message on Rafael's computer screen haunted him. Every word, every cryptic hint about his brother's death played on a loop in his mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that everything he knew about that tragic day was a lie. Determined to uncover the truth, he delved into the past with a newfound fervor, knowing that the answers he sought were buried in the shadows of yesterday. Rafael started by revisiting old documents and emails, poring over them with a meticulous eye. Each piece of information seemed to unlock another door, leading him deeper into a labyrinth of secrets. He discovered files that his brother had kept hidden, filled with notes about clandestine meetings and veiled threats from powerful figures. It was clear that his brother had been involved in something far more dangerous than Rafael had ever imagined. He followed the trail to a storage unit his brother had rented under an alias. Inside, Rafael found a treasure trove of evidence: encrypted drives, handwritten journals, and photographs of people he didn't recognize. As he sifted through the contents, he began to piece together a picture of his brother's life in the months leading up to his death. His brother had been investigating a covert organization with ties to the highest levels of government and industry. The deeper Rafael dug, the more he uncovered about this shadowy group. They were involved in everything from corporate espionage to political manipulation. His brother had stumbled upon their secrets, and it had cost him his life. Rafael realized that his brother's death had been no accident. It had been a calculated move to silence him and keep their activities hidden. But why? What was so important that these people would kill to protect it? As Rafael pondered this, he received another anonymous message, this time with an address and a time. The sender claimed to have information about his brother and warned him to come alone. Despite the risks, Rafael knew he had to follow this lead. It was his only chance to get closer to the truth. At the designated place, a rundown warehouse on the outskirts of the city, Rafael met a figure cloaked in shadows. The stranger handed him a file and whispered, "Your brother was close to exposing them. They killed him because he knew too much. Now, they're coming for you." Before Rafael could ask any questions, the figure disappeared into the night. Rafael opened the file to find detailed plans and documents about a project called Eclipse. It was an advanced technological initiative with the potential to change the world, but in the wrong hands, it could lead to catastrophe. His brother had been on the verge of revealing the project's dangers when he was silenced. Rafael's mind raced. He understood now that he was not only fighting for justice for his brother, but also to prevent a disaster that could affect millions. He knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed help, and he found it in the most unexpected ally, Bia. Bia, the warrior from a dystopian future, had been watching over him. She revealed herself, explaining that she had come back in time to prevent the catastrophic event linked to Project Eclipse. Rafael was the key, and together, they had to stop the organization behind it. Their partnership was uneasy at first. Rafael, used to relying on his intellect and technology, found Bia's raw strength and survival instincts both fascinating and intimidating. Bia, accustomed to fighting alone, struggled to trust someone from a time so different from her own. But they shared a common goal, and that bond grew stronger as they faced increasing dangers. As they continued to dig into the past, Bia's knowledge of future events and Rafael's technical expertise uncovered more about the sinister plans of the organization. They learned of a powerful figure behind Project Eclipse, someone who had orchestrated not only the death of Rafael's brother, but also countless other tragedies to maintain control and power. The stakes were higher than ever. Rafael and Bia found themselves entangled in a web of deceit, danger, and high-tech espionage. But through it all, they discovered a growing respect and admiration for each other. Their late-night strategy sessions turned into deep conversations about their lives, their fears, and their dreams. In the quiet moments between the chaos, Rafael found solace in Bia's presence, and she, in turn, found a sense of purpose and connection she hadn't felt in years. As they faced the secrets of the past together, they began to realize that their fight was about more than just stopping a dangerous conspiracy. It was about finding a path forward, together, and creating a future worth fighting for. Rafael's life had taken a turn he never anticipated. Each new discovery about his brother's death pushed him deeper into a world filled with danger and deception. The cryptic messages, the hidden files, and the shadowy figures watching his every move had become his new reality. Amidst the chaos, he remained determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. One night, as Rafael worked late in his office, the building's eerie silence was shattered by an unexpected noise. He glanced at the clock. It was well past midnight. The rest of the building was deserted. He stood up, heart pounding, and cautiously made his way toward the sound. The lights flickered, casting long shadows in the dimly lit hallway. His footsteps echoed as he approached the source of the disturbance. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, moving with the grace and precision of a predator. Rafael barely had time to react before he found himself face to face with Bia. She was unlike anyone he had ever seen. Tall, muscular, with a fierce intensity in her eyes. Dressed in combat gear, she looked like she had stepped out of a dystopian action movie. Before Rafael could speak, Bia grabbed him by the collar and pushed him against the wall. Her grip was ironclad, her eyes piercing into his with an almost otherworldly intensity. "Are you Rafael?" she demanded, her voice low and urgent. "Yes," Rafael managed to gasp, his mind racing. "Who are you?" "I'm Bia. I'm here to protect you," she replied, releasing her grip slightly. "We don't have much time. They're coming for you." Rafael's thoughts swirled in confusion. "Who's coming? What are you talking about?" "The people who killed your brother. They know you're close to uncovering the truth, and they won't let you live to expose them," Bia explained, her tone leaving no room for doubt. Rafael stared at her, trying to process the information. "How do you know all this?" Bia took a deep breath. "I'm from the future. I've come back to prevent a disaster that will end the world as we know it. You're the key to stopping it. Your brother was on the right track, and now it's up to you to finish what he started." Rafael's skepticism was evident, but the urgency in Bia's voice was undeniable. "Why should I trust you?" "Because I risked everything to come back here," Bia said, her voice softening for the first time. "I've seen what happens if we fail. Millions will die. I'm here to make sure that doesn't happen, and you're our best hope." Rafael's mind raced with questions, but before he could ask them, Bia pulled him towards the nearest exit. "We need to move. Now." They fled the building, racing through the deserted streets under the cover of darkness. Bia led him to a safe house, a nondescript apartment that looked abandoned. Once inside, she secured the doors and windows, then turned to Rafael. "Listen to me carefully," she said, her eyes locking onto his. "Your brother was on the verge of exposing a project called Eclipse. It's a dangerous technology that, if misused, will lead to catastrophic consequences. The people behind it will do anything to protect their secrets. You need to stay hidden and work with me to bring them down." Rafael nodded, his initial fear giving way to a steely resolve. "Tell me everything." Over the next few hours, Bia revealed the grim future she had come from, a world ravaged by the consequences of Project Eclipse. She explained how the technology, intended for good, was twisted into a tool of destruction. Her mission was clear: stop the project in the past to save the future. As they planned their next move, Rafael couldn't help but admire Bia's determination and strength. She was a warrior, forged in a future where survival was a daily battle. Despite the grim circumstances, there was a glimmer of hope in her eyes, a belief that they could change the course of history. Their partnership, born out of necessity, began to evolve. Rafael found himself drawn to Bia's fierce independence and unwavering resolve. She, in turn, was impressed by his intellect and tenacity. They were an unlikely pair brought together by fate, each with their own strengths and vulnerabilities. Late into the night, as they prepared for the challenges ahead, a bond started to form between them. It was built on mutual respect and a shared goal, but it also carried the seeds of something deeper. Rafael realized that, amidst the danger and uncertainty, he had found someone who understood his pain and shared his burden. Bia, too, felt a connection she hadn't expected. In Rafael, she saw not just a key to their mission, but a man who had faced loss and emerged stronger. Their journey was just beginning, but already, the lines between duty and personal connection were beginning to blur. As they faced the unknown together, Rafael and Bia knew that their fight was not just for survival, but for a future where love and hope could still thrive. And in the quiet moments between the chaos, they discovered that even in the darkest times, the human heart could find light. The night was thick with tension as Rafael and Bia raced through the city's shadowy streets. The air was cool, and every sound seemed amplified in the quiet, deserted alleys. Bia moved with the fluid grace of someone who had spent her life on the run, her every movement precise and calculated. Rafael struggled to keep up, his mind still reeling from the revelations of the past hours. They darted through narrow passages and climbed fences, evading the eyes that watched from the shadows. Bia had explained that the organization behind Project Eclipse had eyes and ears everywhere. They were relentless and would stop at nothing to silence anyone who threatened their plans. Bia led Rafael to a series of safe houses, each one more hidden and secure than the last. These were places she had scouted and prepared, knowing that her mission would require secrecy and caution. The safe houses were sparse but equipped with the essentials: weapons, medical supplies, and secure communication devices. Each night, they would rest briefly, always ready to move at a moment's notice. During the day, they traveled in the shadows, avoiding crowded areas and sticking to routes Bia had mapped out meticulously. She taught Rafael survival techniques, how to blend in, how to detect if they were being followed, and how to fight if it came to that. Rafael, who had always relied on his intellect and technology, found himself in awe of Bia's skills. She was a warrior in every sense, her instincts honed by a lifetime of survival. One evening, as they settled into another safe house, Rafael finally had a moment to breathe. The adrenaline began to wear off, replaced by exhaustion and a flood of emotions. He looked at Bia, who was methodically checking their supplies, and felt a deep sense of gratitude and admiration. She had risked everything to come back in time and save him, to change the course of history. "Bia," Rafael began, his voice heavy with emotion, "I don't know how to thank you for everything you've done. I don't even know how you managed to stay so strong." Bia paused and looked at him, her eyes softening for a moment. "Strength comes from necessity, Rafael. In my time, survival is the only option. But it's different with you. You have a chance to change things, to make a real difference. That's what gives me strength." Rafael nodded, understanding the weight of her words. He realized that his quest for the truth was no longer just about avenging his brother's death. It was about preventing a future catastrophe, about fighting for a better world. The stakes were higher than he had ever imagined. Their days became a blend of strategy and survival. They hacked into systems, gathered intelligence, and slowly pieced together the full extent of Project Eclipse. The more they uncovered, the clearer it became that the organization's plans were far-reaching and sinister. The project, if fully realized, would give them unprecedented power and control at the cost of millions of lives. One day, as they hacked into a particularly secure server, alarms blared. They had been detected. Bia and Rafael grabbed their gear and bolted, their hearts pounding as they heard footsteps and shouts closing in. They navigated through the maze of city streets, Bia leading the way with Rafael close behind. Bullets whizzed past them, and the chase intensified. They ducked into an abandoned building, barricading the doors behind them. Bia checked her weapons, her face set in determination. "We need to hold them off until we can find a way out," she said, her voice calm despite the danger. Rafael nodded, his mind racing. He had never been in a situation like this, but he trusted Bia implicitly. Together, they fought off their pursuers, using every ounce of skill and wit they possessed. It was a desperate battle, but they managed to escape, slipping away into the night once more. As they caught their breath in a new safe house, Rafael looked at Bia, his respect for her growing with each passing day. "How do you keep going?" he asked. "How do you stay so focused?" Bia met his gaze, her expression unwavering. "Because I have to. Because if we don't stop them, everything I've ever known will be destroyed. And because I believe in you, Rafael. I believe we can do this together." Her words struck a chord deep within Rafael. In that moment, he felt a surge of determination and resolve. He realized that their fight was not just about survival, but about hope, about a future worth fighting for. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, forged in the fires of danger and the shared goal of stopping Project Eclipse. Rafael found himself not only fighting for justice and truth, but also for the woman who had risked everything to save him. Bia, in turn, found a renewed sense of purpose and connection in their partnership. In the midst of chaos and uncertainty, their hearts found solace in each other. They were more than allies. They were kindred spirits, united by a mission that transcended time. As they faced the perils ahead, they knew that together they could overcome any obstacle, change the course of history, and build a future filled with love and hope. The relentless pursuit had pushed Rafael and Bia to their limits. Every safe house, every escape, had brought them closer together and deeper into the web of secrets surrounding Project Eclipse. But it was in the quiet moments, between the chaos and the adrenaline, that they began to uncover the truths that would change everything. One night, as they sat in yet another safe house, Rafael hunched over his laptop, hacking into a high-security server. The glow of the screen illuminated his determined expression. Bia stood guard, her senses attuned to any sign of danger. The silence was thick with anticipation. "Got it," Rafael whispered, breaking the silence. "I've accessed the mainframe. This should give us everything we need." Bia moved closer, peering over his shoulder at the screen. As the files loaded, they saw detailed plans for Project Eclipse, including communications between key members of the organization. One name stood out: Victor Delgado, a powerful industrialist with deep ties to both the tech world and the government. "Victor Delgado," Rafael muttered. "He's the one pulling the strings. He's behind everything." Bia nodded, her expression grim. "He's the one who orchestrated your brother's death. And he's the one we need to stop." As they sifted through the documents, a clearer picture emerged. Delgado had used his influence to manipulate markets, control governments, and silence anyone who stood in his way. Project Eclipse was his crowning achievement, a technology that could monitor and control the world's population under the guise of security and progress. It was designed to give him unparalleled power, turning society into a dystopian nightmare. Rafael's heart sank as he realized the extent of Delgado's reach. "My brother found out about this," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "He tried to stop it, and they killed him for it." Bia placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "And now it's up to us to finish what he started. We have to expose Delgado and stop Project Eclipse before it's too late." As they continued to dig, they discovered another shocking revelation. Delgado had a personal vendetta against Rafael's family. Years ago, Rafael's father, a military strategist, had thwarted one of Delgado's early schemes. The vendetta had passed to the next generation, with Rafael and his brother becoming targets in Delgado's quest for revenge. "He's been targeting my family for years," Rafael said, his voice filled with a mix of anger and sorrow. "This isn't just about power. It's personal." Bia squeezed his shoulder, her eyes filled with determination. "Then we make it personal too. We take him down and make sure he never hurts anyone again." The next day, armed with the knowledge they had uncovered, Rafael and Bia devised a plan to expose Delgado. They would hack into a live broadcast and present their evidence to the world. It was risky, but it was their best shot at stopping him. As they prepared for the operation, Rafael couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for Bia. She had not only saved his life, but had become his partner in this fight. Their bond had grown stronger with each passing day, and he realized that he had found something more valuable than anything he had ever known: love and trust in the midst of turmoil. The night of the broadcast arrived, and tension hung in the air. Bia set up their equipment while Rafael finalized the hack. The clock ticked down, and they knew that once they went live, there would be no turning back. "Ready?" Bia asked, her voice steady despite the stakes. Rafael nodded, his heart pounding. "Let's do this." The screen flickered, and suddenly, they were live. Rafael presented the evidence, his voice clear and resolute. He exposed Delgado's crimes, detailing the sinister plans behind Project Eclipse and the murder of his brother. As the world watched, the truth was laid bare. In the midst of the broadcast, the doors burst open. Delgado's men stormed in, guns drawn. Bia sprang into action, her combat skills unmatched. She fought with precision and ferocity, protecting Rafael as he continued to broadcast. The room erupted in chaos, but Rafael's voice never wavered. "We have to finish this," he shouted over the commotion. With one final push, they transmitted the last piece of evidence. The broadcast ended, and the truth was out. Delgado's empire began to crumble as the world reacted to the shocking revelations. His power was shattered, and justice seemed within reach. In the aftermath, Rafael and Bia stood side by side, bruised but victorious. They had faced impossible odds and emerged triumphant. The bond they had forged in the fires of adversity was unbreakable. As they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that their fight wasn't over, but they had each other. In the quiet moments after the storm, they found solace and hope in their love, ready to face whatever the future held together. The storm had passed, but the fight was far from over. Rafael and Bia had succeeded in exposing Victor Delgado and Project Eclipse to the world, but their victory came with new challenges. The aftermath of the broadcast left them both marked by the chaos they had survived. Yet, amidst the ruins of Delgado's shattered empire, a new and profound connection had blossomed. As the dust settled, Rafael and Bia found a rare moment of peace in a secluded cabin far from the city. The cabin was surrounded by towering trees and a serene lake, a stark contrast to the high-tech battlegrounds they had become accustomed to. Here, they could breathe, reflect, and find solace in each other. One evening, as the sun set over the lake, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Rafael and Bia sat on the porch, wrapped in a blanket of tranquility. The silence between them was comfortable, a testament to the bond they had forged. "Do you ever think about what happens next?" Rafael asked, his voice soft, breaking the silence. Bia looked at him, her eyes filled with a mixture of contemplation and affection. "Every day," she admitted. "We've accomplished so much, but there's still so much more to do. Delgado's fall has left a power vacuum, and there will be others who try to fill it. We can't let our guard down." Rafael nodded, understanding the weight of her words. "I know, but I also think about us, about what we've built together. I never imagined I'd find someone like you in the midst of all this." Bia smiled, a rare softness in her fierce demeanor. "Neither did I, but here we are. And despite everything, I wouldn't change a thing." Their hands found each other, fingers intertwining as they sat in the fading light. In that moment, they both realized that their mission had given them something unexpected but profoundly beautiful: love. The days that followed were a blend of strategy and tenderness. By day, they continued to work on dismantling the remnants of Delgado's network, using the skills and knowledge they had acquired to ensure that Project Eclipse could never be resurrected. By night, they found comfort in each other's arms, sharing their fears, hopes, and dreams. One night, as they lay under the stars, Bia turned to Rafael, her expression serious yet tender. "There's something I need to tell you," she began. Rafael's heart skipped a beat. "What is it?" Bia took a deep breath. "When I came back from the future, I knew it would be dangerous. I knew I might not survive. But I also knew that the future I left was one where love and hope were rare. I see now that the mission was never just about stopping Delgado. It was about finding a way to build a future where love can thrive, where hope can exist." Rafael's eyes softened as he listened. "And you've done that. We've done that. Together." Bia nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. "I never thought I'd find someone who understands me, who accepts me for who I am. You've given me that, Rafael. You've given me hope." Rafael pulled her close, their foreheads touching. "And you've given me strength. Together, we can face anything." Their lips met in a kiss that was both tender and passionate, sealing their bond. In each other, they had found a partner, an equal, and a love that transcended time and adversity. As they continued their mission, their love became their greatest strength. They faced new threats, navigated complex alliances, and worked tirelessly to ensure a better future. Each challenge they overcame only deepened their connection, making them an unstoppable team. Their journey was far from over, but with each step, They walked hand in hand, united by a love that had been forged in the fires of their shared struggle. They had found in each other a reason to keep fighting, to keep hoping, and to keep dreaming of a world where love and justice prevailed. In the quiet moments, when the world seemed still and the weight of their mission was momentarily lifted, Rafael and Bia would look into each other's eyes and find solace. They had faced darkness and emerged into the light, their love a beacon guiding them forward. As the stars twinkled above, they made a silent vow to protect each other, to fight for a better future, and to cherish the love that had grown amidst the chaos. Their mission was their purpose, but their love was their anchor, grounding them in the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with, a testament to the power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. And as they continued their journey, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them side by side, their hearts intertwined in an unbreakable bond.